Okay, here's what I've got going on right now. As you can see, this is my tank that I just pulled out, my small pond with all my extras and some fish I'm saving for breeding. We'll just start with extra red dovia. As you can see, I've got two over here, a smaller one right here. Got a breeding pair that's doing real well, but these are my extras. Don't know if I'll set up another pair of these for breeding or if I will actually just sell these. But this is really unique. This is one of my bigger grow-out ponds and some of my extra fish I have saved for the weekend. As you can see, here's a female labiatum, a wild male that I have, and we'll get to that fish in a minute. That's an older version of these current Amphilopas here. Got one really nice convict that somebody's coming to pick up. It's hard to pick him out in here, one of the really dark males. And if I spot him, I'll bring attention to him. And got a couple of red Texas that look pretty much like, you know, the green Texas. So right over there is one in the back, as you just behind. You can see, looks pretty common. Not much into hybrids, but and while I'm thinking about, there's a white Finestrata in the back that I'm keeping for breeding. But these fish right here, these Amphilopas, look pretty unique. And they are. About 2010, I gave a friend in the military some Amphilopas. I gave him a chancho male, which had really grown out nicely. I think a couple of my Midas off the big head line that came with El Fuego mole, big male, which is over 14 inches. Really, really nice fish. Look at that one right there, just amazing. But I guess about 4 or 5 years after I'd give him the fish, I went over to check up on him, and he was getting ready to be deployed. So he asked me to take the fish back. And he had a pair of them, which was the original male chancho, and it had killed everything in the tank but a female on the Midas line. And they laid eggs. It killed that female, and they spawned with one of the babies, and then did it again, the same route. So he ended up with a third generation group of probably 12 fry and that original chancho. Well, his brother took the chancho, and he needed a place for those fry. So I kept them and grew them out, and was going to wait for him to come back. By the time he got back, one of those females has spawned with my male, which would make it the 4th generation of chancho crossed back. So this was, at that time was getting, where it looked almost identical to a chancho. But a really unique thing happens is about half of the fish at that time were changing colors and becoming red. And I sold him because he just never moved back to Clarksville, and I got rid of the fish for him, but kept one of the females and bred her to my big chancho from that one, and just went on from there. Brings me up to about 10 years from the original giving the fish. There's a video out that I just posted that shows the 5th generation of red chancho, breeding back to my younger male chancho, which was only about, 12 inches at the time, which now he's about 14. And she was probably 10, 11 inches at a year and a half old, which is a really, really big female. So I thought, why not to see if I could do it again and get a 6th generation. This is what you have here. 6th generation. They range from 3 to 6 to 7 inches. And like I say, I'm not really big into hybrids, but I know everybody who likes hybrids would really, really want a big Amphilopas that could give them that red to cross to their red Texas or whatever. Give them that really, really good size. And to be honest, I don't know how big these fish will get. Some of them have grown really, really fast. And I have true chanchos that were spawned about the same time that are probably 1.5 to 2 inches smaller than the big ones. So there's a big difference in size. They got the hybrid vigor, and they're obviously working out. But they're in here where I can get a good video of them. It looks like probably 25% have already changed, and I will give them another month and a half before I take them down to Ken Davis to disperse and see how many change at that time. At that time they don't change, then they're used as food. Just the dark ones look too much like a chancho, and just cannot have that get into the hobby and destroy such a great fish as the chancho. And you can see Bubba's in here. Bubba used to go in the pond, but he's no longer allowed. My koi, the value of my koi has gotten so much higher that I don't want anybody messing with them. So if anybody needs a really, really big common pleco, let me know, because Bubba's a little over 2 feet. But back to the chanchos. As you can see, these things are, well, the red chanchos, these things are really, really big. They do look different. See, like this one right here looks like the chancho, but some have the lines. And the ones that have the lines are the ones that are going to change most likely. The ones like this look like a chancho, the big guy here, probably are not going to change. So unfortunately, you know, he won't. I will not let him get out of the out of here, and by any means. And there's no way that I would let that get into the hobby. But I know Ken has some friends on that like to buy hybrid, so I figured I'd let him go ahead and distribute. This will probably be my last group of red chanchos, and I'll let it be taken up from here, because actually on the 6th generation, you know, I was planning on, you know, you're talking much right at over 95% pure, you know, chancho, but they have the red body. You can tell by their eyes. They got those big pop out eyes that chanchos have. They have the fins. Every now and then you have one that looks like the Midas, but for the most part, they just look like a red chancho. You know, you can tell the difference in them. But, you know, this is the, like I say, these fish are all getting ready to be sold, so I pulled them out other ponds so I could basically see what I have. I do have one a couple years ago that was white, but he got killed by the group and never made it to sellable size. And these have never been sold. You know, I've grew out. This is the most I've grew out. Usually what I grow is 25 or so babies are the biggest ones. Use the rest for food and just go from there. But as you can see, I grew out of quite a few of these because I was planning on getting them in the hobby, you know, and then you know, everybody can do their little thing. The red dovii are taking care of the small chanchos, the little ones, and that's where they'll stay. I have no interest in the fish that don't have good genetics, good size, because that's what we want to do for those hybrid crazies out there that do their little thing. This will give them something that, you know, would really give them a good bloodline. And but if you're interested in that and it's something that you want to do, then you know, contact Ken Davis at Fish Farm USA in Georgia. He'll be able to help you out. Not that I've really got anything against hybrids, but that's just not my thing, man. Just did this as something unique. I may actually keep this one right here because I think he's going to possibly turn white. If you can get a white chancho, then that'd be a really cool fish to have, like in your office or something. It'd just be a big, unique fish, glass beaver. That'd be able to. And this right here is one of the 4th generations, you know, that I had. And I haven't released her yet. As you can see, she's not grown real well, so she's not going to make the cut. So looks like she wants to spot with wild labiotum, so, but we're not going to let that happen. These guys in here take care of the extra stuff, you know. As you can see, they're right at about 8 to 10, 9, 10 inches, and they take care of anything that's small. But hey, you're a hybrid fan, this is something you may want to do, And maybe Ken will toss me a little money back and bring me some Uruguayan fish back that'll, you know, do its thing. But I just don't have the space for this, you know. Plus, you know, hybrid stuff ain't my thing. We'll tell you the tank next to it. I do have a stand back drive pair that's spawning while I'm here, so I'm not going to stay here much longer. Once again, I'll send this on down to Ken. I'll post it, and he can start letting you know what's going on. But if you're interested in any of these, then contact him. Like I say, I may sell the pair of red dovia. They haven't spawned yet, and I'll wait till they spawn to do that. But I've got another pair that's put out top. In the back is that convict I was talking about earlier. As you can see, it's just a really unique convict. And I pulled him from the spawn. This guy just won't stay out of the way. He's wanting to stay home, but that's good looking, probably male, so somebody will grab him up. But like I say, I'll keep the ones here that haven't changed colors, and if they don't change in the next couple months, then they'll go in with the big dovia, and we'll feed down to them, and that'll be that. But some of these fish are probably, this guy here is probably 5-6 inches in there. Yeah, about 5, 4.5, 5. Who knows? But if you're looking for these, hey, give it a try. All right, talk to you soon, kid.